Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a great evening. We started our warm-up yesterday, and today we're supposed to be 100 to 102, and tomorrow, and then I think everybody's getting ready for the next blast of Canadian air next week. That's supposed to cool things down quite a bit east of the Rockies. So global warming alarmists will have a harder time explaining this, so they don't even try anymore. It's called climate change. Man-caused climate change. If you've ever been up in an airplane and flown around, it's really hard to see the impact of man outside of these heavily concentrated megacities that we have developing around the globe. So anyway, the quest to keep people alarmed and off balance and worried about the sky falling continues. Today is option expiration for the 10-year and the 30-year for the financials. The point yesterday was 124.5, 125.5. Mathematically, it favors a close at 125. On the 30-year, the point yesterday was 137 to 138. Given the strength in the knob spread, I think it'll be closer to 138 than it will be to 137. Today's action will hinge on the reaction to the durable orders number. Last month it showed pretty big declines. This month they're forecasting durable orders plus a half, and then X transportation plus 0.7, and the focus will be X transportation because of the big swings in that number that are caused by Boeing orders. So X transportation plus 0.7%. Last night Visa's earnings disappointed, as did Amazon's. And you have to ask, Amazon is a company that's really in big favor with institutional investors and retail investors. I mean, it's performed very well, but their bottom line is minuscule to negative. I understand that they are the market and that there are long-term implications from what they do, but from a pure earnings per share basis, its valuation on a historical basis is way out of line for its bottom line. So anyway, the stock market's reaction to the durable orders numbers is what will drive today's markets. And if the E-mini sells, the financials should get some support, not enough to break it out to the upside. So here we are. Last night we left the the market wanting to sell the 1 to 5 area. The overnight session high was 4.5. Pretty damn good call, if I do say so myself. We're hoping to buy 21s to 25s. Didn't get close to it. Right now we've got pretty good support against 28, and I've put our buy at 25 to 29 on the hopes that news might take us down a little bit. We'll probably have to adjust that higher, and buy 2 is 17 to 21 to get started. On the sell side, we got a 3 to 7 sell, and then 11 to 15. The buy side probably is the side that we'll have to adjust up. Okay, the knob spread strengthened overnight. The 30-year still does attract long-term buying. You can see it in its profile. The spread for the close, the mathematical spread, is 37.5 with 137 and 138 where the action was yesterday. My guess is it closes pretty close to 138 because of the knob spread. And for those of you that are new, knob spread is note over bond. If you're bullish on interest rates, you buy the 30-year, sell the 10. If you're bearish on interest rates, you buy the 10 and sell the 30-year. It's pretty cut and dry. Okay, so we got our sell 3 to 7. And because of the knob spread, we'd like to get it done at the higher end of that, like really leaning against the 8. And the second sell will be 11 to 15. On the buy side, we're at 31. Yesterday we left hoping to buy 17s to 21s. That was a little too optimistic, so we'll play for a little lower. Have to adjust after the news. Buy 1 will be 21 to 25. And then 17 to 13 for buy 2. Okay, yesterday there was an article out where the United States had convinced Cyprus to shut down or take over bank accounts in a certain bank that has been suspect of a money laundering operation, especially for Russia. You know, the United States is really changing just everything. There's been a push by the EU and everybody for a long period of time to tax rates the same around the world, rules and regulations, and the United States kind of always held out against those. But right now the United States is the one that's throwing their weight around, and it's this never-ending quest to get every tax dollar that you can get. And they're pressuring, like Swiss banks are no longer a place where you can take your money and not be investigated. That's got to make the dictators around the world nervous. So this never-ending grab for money from anywhere and everywhere, and to keep raising tax rates to fuel these large government machines, which eventually collapse. They always do. But it takes a hell of a lot longer than anybody thinks that they should. So it's just everybody's got their hands in everybody's pocket, and everybody wants all the money that you make, and everybody wants to tell you how to make that money. And that's empowerment. And eventually, like I said, they follow their own way. Okay, gold looks to be in a trading range. Yesterday we had hoped to buy 93 to 95, 85 to 87. Said it might take 90s to get in. 90 held, so we got this 90, 92 area. Make it 90 plus or minus buy 1, 85 plus or minus buy 2. Large institution banged the market yesterday. Sometimes they do that in twos. And then we'll make 98 to 1300, sell 1, and then 3 to 5, sell 2. I see a trading range here. Not a lot going on today. Obviously would like to execute at the number 2 levels if possible, but I think it's going to be easier to sell gold today than it will be to buy it advantageously. I think we're headed for stops above 1300. Okay, looking at the euro was lower overnight, and again that display yesterday and those really super tough sanctions, I mean, where would you get confidence in doing anything long term in the EU right now? I mean, they've disarmed themselves. They've created a situation where 30% of their energy comes from what used to be their arch enemy, the Russia, in the Cold War. Their growth rates are anemic outside of Germany, and Germany's really are nothing to brag about. So I think the long-term economics point to a lower euro, and that's also their central bank policy too. Okay, we haven't been below 50 for the the last 6 months. So a little bit lower today. We'll play for a 25 to 35 buy. 1. If the durable orders number comes in higher than forecast, that's what's going to put us there. And then 34, 34.10 for buy 2. On the sell side, we left yesterday wanting to sell 75s. We caught that perfectly. London's last rotate up was at 70. We're currently at 48, so we'll make 65, 75, sell 1. If durable orders comes in less than forecast, we'll get there. And then we'll make 90 to the buck for sell 2. Don't look for a lot of action out of this contract today. It's been really tough trading this summer. Looking at crude oil. And they say the threat of war is about where it was yesterday. It's there. There is a premium in the contract for war, but nobody's worried about supply today. So we got really good support in the 101.50 area. I think we're headed for 100 before it's all over. So 50 to 75 is buy 1. 101 even plus or minus is buy 2. We're at the bottom of the trading range. We got all this volume in this area right here. It's going to be pretty easy to get up, so we'll make 25 to 50 sell 1. Then 75 to the buck for sell 2. If we don't break support early this morning, I think the buy side is a better side to play from. Okay, the E-mini is lower overnight. We're put in that situation. The worse the news, the more likely it is to rally because the Fed can't begin tightening. The market is still in a very strong uptrend. If you had to make a trade at the market, you'd still be on the buy side based on structure. Last night, Amazon and Visa disappointed. They're blamed for the selling. German investor confidence was at 108 versus 109 in the previous month. But it all boils down, I think, today to durable orders. And the initial reaction, durable orders is last month they were negative numbers. This month they're forecast to be positive. So plus 0.5% for durable orders. And X transportation plus 7 tenths. Those numbers would be supportive in and of themselves because they're positive, they're not negative. But if these come in and disappoint and come in lower, given Visa's and Amazon's earnings per share and reports last night, the market should sell a little bit. Okay, we're right here at the breakout. You can just kind of see that the 75 area is pretty important. And because the market is lower and pointed lower, we're going to get started. We're going to try to buy cheaper, 70 to 72. And then 65 to 67 is where the best resistance is. That's the area where I'd really like to get long. Don't know if we'll get there. And the first sell, and we'll adjust it after the news, is 80 plus or minus, and then our 85 for sell 2 plus or minus. And we'll get in and we'll adjust this after the news. Again, 2,000 is within reach. I don't see any reason not to get there. Has nothing to do with fundamentals or anything else. It's just the market has highlighted that as a trading target, and it usually doesn't take very long to get there.